It's our first meeting in person since the pandemic started. Counselor, if I might have would you please read, tell us who's present and who's not present?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Clay?
Present.
Beston?
Here.
Camisso?
Here.
Demolowitz?
Yep.
Evacoro?
Here.
Ethier? Touche?
Here.
Lockhart? And Ward. 6 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have a quorum to do business with, and may I have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
Motion.
Motion is made. May I have a second?
Second.
Second. So the motion is made and second for the approval of the previous minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That comes Mr. Ethier. Please mark him present. He's he's always, let the record show, he's always late. But
I got seniority. Not from Cahoes.
yeah. Gil, how you doing?
Good, everybody looks good. Nice to see everybody again, everybody's happy.
Thank you for being here.
Good.
We have a short agenda, and if we would like to start right in on the current business, which authorizes an agreement with Motorola Solutions for the purchase and installation of equipment at the E911 Dispatch Center. Sheriff?
Mr. Chairman, this is authorizing us to basically receive and expend $1,500,000. This equipment will be purchased and put in the new 911 center at 58 Verda. It is all grant funds, which that center will commence, and bids are going out next month, so we're right on target with everything. The $1.5 million comes from 2 grants.
Motion to move it. Second.
Motion is made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. I guess they're all yours, actually. Number 2, authorize an agreement with Holloway Alert for the purchase of a recording system for the 911 Dispatch Center.
So this is for the recording system, which takes care of all the radio transmissions, all the phone calls that come in, and we have to purchase 2 of these systems. It's $430,000 total. A lot of this money is coming from 17 and 18 statewide interoperability communications grants, and $200,000 from 2020.
Okay, any questions from the committee?
Motion.
Motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number, we're on 4. Authorizing the submission of a grant application to the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the 2020 statewide interoperability communications grant.
This is actually in order to enter into this, so we can purchase the grant or the equipment on the prior resolution. But this is it's a formula based from DISHES. It's the 2020 statewide interoperability communications grant, which should be around $230,000.
Any questions from the committee?
Motion or motion?
Motion is made. May I have a second? Motion is made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that's all that I have listed. I think the first one is probation. But I would ask you if you could indulge me for a couple of quick minutes. I wanted to brief the Public Safety Committee on something that will be coming next month, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So, as everybody knows, we're in the process of, we're about to put a shovel in the ground on our brand new 911 system. It'll be located out at 58 Verda in Clarksville. Great. The one problem that we've been having keeping up with technology over the last several years is that in 2008 we had an amendment to a resolution which allowed us to have a 35-cent surcharge on cellular phones in Albany County. There's always been a charge on landlines, and at the time there was a smaller number of cell phones in the county and a large number of landlines. So obviously, over the course of time, landlines have kind of gone by the wayside, with the exception of businesses or some of us older people that, just keep a landline for alarm purposes or whatever.
Why are you looking at me when you said something?
I said us, all right? I mean, I'm in the 50s now, so I'm catching you. So,
We got ties over now, right, Bill?
so, with that said, we've done a little study. We've been working hard with Sue Rizzo, who's done an outstanding job for us. She has been doing a lot of research on making sure that Albany County is, in fact, first of all, getting the monies that these cell phone companies should be giving us. There's a lot of different ways out there to try to skirt the system, whether it's VoIP, voice over IP, and there's a lot of third-party vendors out there now. You see all of these different cell vendors. So we want to make sure that we're getting the monies that we're getting. The problem is, initially, we had a great, robust surplus. Technology wasn't moving as fast. Things weren't as expensive, and we always had a really hefty, robust landline fee coming in. Landline here, cell here in '08, now we're like this. So there's very few dollars coming in from landline, and really not that much from the cell phone because of the 35 cent. So what we're proposing, and I have already broached this with our senator and a couple of our assembly members, that we'd like to see it increase at the end of 2021 for 2022. What we'd like to do is move it from 35 cents up to 95 cents with 2 more escalators in there up through, I think it was 2028. That was one idea. The other idea is to bite the bullet and do what 3 other counties in the state have done and raise it to $1.35 and call it a day. Reason being, again, is that the surplus at the end of 2021 will just about be zeroed out. There'll be no more funds there, and we'll be scraping to keep up with technology. I think when you dial 911, you want the most efficient, proficient people in technology at the end of that line. So it's something that we've talked about for the last 3 or 4 years. We haven't been in a position to do it, but I'd hate to see this can get kicked any further down the road, and I think now is the time to do it. So we're in the process of compiling some more data to present an RLA probably next month to the Public Safety Committee and Audit and Finance, and hopefully it gets voted on and passed, and then at that point we have to go to our state representatives to have it passed up at the legislature. So that's kind of the position we're in. I just wanted to start the conversation, get people talking about it. If there's any questions or anything that somebody needs to feel better at it or better about it, please give me a call. We'll sit down with you. We'll show you what we've got, what we're doing. And the other part of that is we'd like to waive the landline fee for residences. So it's a little bit of a give back. It's not much. And then, of course, increase on the surcharges. And on the low end, I think it'll raise somewhere around 4.1 million.
A year?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, going back to what you just said last, so you're going to eliminate the charge on the landline and put a charge on the cell phone?
Well, we're going to increase the charge on the cell phone. It's 35 cents currently. It has been since 2008. The cost of technology has just it's grown exponentially. Those fees being collected can't keep up with it. So the surplus is no longer a surplus. It's just kind of keeping our head above water. And then at that point, we would eliminate the residential landline fee, which really is going to amount to, again, letting some of the seniors and, if you have a landline for an alarm purpose or something to that effect, it would be eliminated.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Yes,
I would bite the bullet like the 3 other counties and just do the 135 straight up instead of having to go through this 2-3 times down the road. Just do it once, get it behind us, and move forward. I don't see how anyone could object to a tax on a cell phone for keep 911 moving, like you say, Sheriff. They need somebody at the other end to pick it up.
Yeah.
So I would support the 135 straight up.
And again, just so everybody's clear, the state already collects over $300 million a year. Over $300 million. But only doles out roughly $70 million to the counties in the state, and half of that 70 is going downstate to New York County. So we're picking up scraps is what we're picking up. I'm all for the counties becoming, hey, you charge it, you collect it, we'd be solvent for years. But that's not the case. So needless to say, we need to address this, and, I mean, I'm all for that, we just presented different opportunities.
So the new fee that you are suggesting, is that going to be for just Albany County, or is this going to the state?
This would be just for Albany County. Every county has to do it through their legislature, get a home rule from the state, and then it can be raised.
And they're on
It's not a
board
new
for
fee, it's an increased fee.
They're on board for that?
Yeah, we've had 2 quick talks, and they were like, yeah, you know, whatever you need to do.
The governor's on board for that?
Oh, I haven't spoken to the governor.
Because
about it.
his latest thing was no new taxes. I don't know.
Well, this is an increase, this
Well,
isn't
you
new.
know, it's an election.
And I'm
year.
not sure if this is considered an excise tax. We gotta look at
It's a
which,
service, right?
yeah, so which way that goes.
Sheriff,
But-
how much is the increase?
If we do it, option 2, it would be $1 a month.
And what was option 1?
Option 1 would be 60 cents.
60.
And then something along the lines of, I think like 75 cents, and then upwards to 90 cents. It would be an escalator. But if we gotta keep going back, if we could do an escalator, you know, and make it, that's the law, and then it will increase in 3 years, 3 years, 3 years, great. Otherwise, I totally agree with what Gary's saying, is let's just do it and get it over with. And that would also benefit the county more that way as well.
Any other questions? Sheriff, incidentally, how, are you still housing, well, I don't know what to call them, inmates, with the feds?
Feds?
Yeah,
Yes, 121 as of this morning.
121. Oh. And that brings in how much?
This year, I think we're on target to bring 5.7 million in.
Oh, wow. Very good.
I think we budgeted a little less than that, so we're ahead of the game.
Very good.
Sheriff, you're still patrolling the streets in Albany?
Yes, sir.
How long have you
Doing an
seen that?
outstanding job too, I might add, Sheriff. Your guys are doing a great job.
I
City of Albany.
truly can't answer that. I really, I don't know. I mean, I think some of the violence has subsided. I think obviously the murders are down, shootings are down, people shot are down. I don't know, you know, I mean, we have a high presence, you know, upwards to 12 to 16 cars a day. And they're working hard. And I think, you know, our numbers for the first 30 days were something along the lines of 1,035 vehicle stops, close to 370 cars towed, a couple hundred arrests, a lot of stolen car recoveries, gun recoveries, drug recoveries. You know, listen, we're working in conjunction. I know a lot of people want to see that, you know, Albany and Albany PD butting heads. That's not the case. We're working with them day in and day out. Some of our guys do still ride with them. A lot of them are in their own cars. We've tried, you know, a lot of different options. But Albany PD is short, and they can't do a lot of the things that we're doing. So that allows us to do it. So I think, you know, I think the attitude that the city is unsafe is unfair and unjust. There are some hot spots where violence is spiked, and we're working hard to control it. But again, you know, it's really like, where can we push it? Let's get it out of the city. And that's, you know, we're not gonna just stop it. It's gonna go somewhere. But we need everybody, you know, in the capital region to keep pushing and run these people out.
So I would imagine the indictments that was handed out helped out a lot.
It did. Some of them were already in jail. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them walked right out of the courtroom. You know, I know people hate to hear us talk about bail reform, but bail reform played a big part in this. You know,
Yeah.
it plays a big part in this. So.
Yes, Gary.
Sheriff, do we have a gang unit in Albany? Does APD have a
A
gang unit?
dedicated, I'm not aware if Albany has a dedicated unit. I do not.
You do not?
I do
We still have a gang unit in the jail?
Yes. Yes.
Do they
Everybody-
coordinate with Albany?
Yeah, I mean, the jail is one of the best repositories for intelligence in the area. I don't want to tip my hand on everything, but, you know, everybody that comes in is photographed, and tattoos are photographed, and We have an officer up there who's in charge of debriefing inmates as they come in to try to extract whatever intelligence, and that's about all I'd really want to talk about.
No, I understand. I mean, shouldn't Albany have a gang unit? I mean, this is all gang-related things going on in the city.
Yeah,
And
I
not
mean-
to have a gang unit doesn't make sense.
You can call them whatever you want. I mean, sometimes they have street crime. I mean, people change names of units. I have put a lot of thought into reaching out to every police department in the county and asking them to give us one guy and target a lot of drug dealing and gun violence and things of that nature, and give them, countywide jurisdiction. I've been kind of picking some people's brains on that. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition or not, but
You used to have that.
yeah,
You used to have the drug interdiction unit,
right.
and took away all that, So I just think that everything is just going crazy in the city because there's nobody doing anything. There's nobody watching them.
It's fair, but a little bit unfair. Again, Albany's down 80, 90 guys.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do anything proactive when you're so short and when you're running from domestic violence calls
Oh, I
constantly,
understand.
sexual assaults,
But there's a
shots
reason why
fired.
nobody wants to work in Albany. There's a lot of young guys out there want to be cops. They don't want to be cops in Albany.
Yeah.
It's just the way it
Well,
is.
Cops all over the world now.
Well, no, I
It's
know,
not
I
a
know.
popular job right now.
I think Gotland has no problem getting people, or Colony. My nephew just went to work for East Greenbush. They got no, they love it.
Well, I mean, there's a clear difference
It's a tough
between
job in
a
Albany.
city
Yeah.
cop
Yeah.
and a
I
suburban
mean, you don't
cop.
even get nobody to take the exam. I don't think they had, 35, 40 people take the exam, Bill? Right? It was very low.
Yeah.
I can remember, you used to get 300 people take the exam.
And when they have the academy, I'm told that at the end, I forget the numbers, Sheriff, perhaps you know, the graduation was so low, they went in with a decent sized class, but the graduation class was so low, people just quit, they left.
Well, the issue is the part of the neighborhood I represent is that the simple fact is that Albany, at one time, in everything that you're doing with your traffic safety and running your cars with the plate reader and stuff, at one time Albany had 30 at one time traffic safety people. The latest was they had 7 traffic safety people to do this. Now they got 2 for the whole city.
That's reflected in that total number that the sheriff mentioned. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
absolutely,
just short.
absolutely. They don't have time to do the work he's doing. That's a simple fact. What's that?
Why did they hire him then?
Nobody wants to work there.
Nobody
They're
wants to
trying.
Right. No, that's true.
I'm telling you, Gil, they're having a hard time to get people to take the exam.
And Albany's
I
not
don't
the
know about
highest
that.
paid, they're not the highest paid guys either, so. Gilliland and Colony, you make salary-wise more than Albany?
Yeah, a lot
A lot, yeah.
more.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Sheriff, you have what problem with other agencies if you want to oversee their areas? Do they give you much grief, or do you have a right to do that?
I have countywide jurisdiction. I don't get grief from anybody.
Right. So if you wanted to go to Waterville or
Yeah,
Gilliland.
we've been in Waterville. We work with Cohoes routinely. We're in Green Island. We just handled the horrific predatory sexual assault against a child in Green Island this week.
So nobody gives you
Obviously,
much grief, that's.
I met with Bethlehem's chief and town supervisor this morning on our mental health program. No, I don't.
Because you
been here-
mentioned earlier.
been here too long for
departments
that.
being too much of a head-to-head stuff, being angry at each other.
Well, some
Too
people
much
want to
that-
perceive that it's not true. I
Yeah.
mean, we talk to everybody routinely, we share information, we're doing everything, it's just that, we can't express that to everybody all the time.
A lot of people forget that the city of Albany's residents are county taxpayers also. So we're paying for the services that he's doing in the city of Albany. A lot of people think, oh, they're in Albany, they're in Albany. Well, wait a minute. We all pay county taxes in the city. In my district, we get very little from Albany County as far as services and things like that.
Well, they got you.
We're happy as heck that the sheriff's up there and the sheriff's guys are on our streets.
That's good.
All right, can we move on?
Oh, yeah.
There's other questions?
Glad you hung around, Sheriff.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, thank you, have a great night.
You guys-
Sheriff.
Nice holiday, Sheriff.
That's it?
That's it, we're done.
No.
Two more items.
Can we let him talk that long?
Hey, you guys want to go in person?
All right, number 5 on the agenda. Authorizing agreement with New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services regarding alternatives to incarceration program. Sir.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to appear. This is an annual grant for the probation department and the public defender's office. For the probation department, it's required under Article 13A executive law. We provide pretrial supervision of people arrested in Albany County, and the public defender provides defender-based advocacy. It's a small grant, but it's an annual grant, been in existence for many years.
Motion to move.
Second.
Motion's made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Last but not least, authorizing the submission of a grant application for the New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. So this is just an authorization to apply for New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services Hazard Mitigation Grant Plan program. And it's to update, it's a request for $200,000 to update the county's hazard mitigation plan. There is a cost share of 25% to the county, so we would be potentially getting $150,000 from New York State to update the plan and then identify some actionable items in the county that we can apply for in the future.
Any questions? Motion is made. May I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
May I have a motion for adjournment? Motion is made. May I have a second? Thank you. All in